cold, it's snowing, but the atmosphere in Red Lodge is electric.
Well, Greg, I have to tell you, this is my first time here at the Brick covering state volleyball, and I have to say it almost has a March Madness type feel. And of course, when it comes with the madness, it comes with a lot of upsets, and we had plenty of them yesterday. And as you see behind me, the fans are excited about the undefeated semifinals here tonight, getting started about 45 minutes. Hey, good Friday night, everyone, and welcome to SWX Overtime, the final SWX Overtime of the high school football season. It was no surprise that the Laurel Locomotives and Billings Central Rams met in the Class A state title game, as this was the 5th time in the last 6 years these two teams met with a state title up for grabs. Laurel would go on to win 2-0 thanks to goals from Madison Peaton and Maya Mack, which was Mack's 43rd on the season, an all-class record, as the Locos won their 3rd straight state title. The Knoxon Red Devils came into this opening round matchup upset-minded, going against the 1 seed from the South Shields Valley. They gave them all they could handle in the first half, even taking a brief lead in the second quarter. It's the Laurel Locomotives, it's the Billings Central Rams in the State A title game. It's the 75th all-time meeting between these two teams, but the first to occur in the state championship game. The Billings Central Rams and Huntley Project Red Devils are no strangers when it comes to state title matches. However, their opponents are. In Class A, Havers making their first state title appearance since 2005. Meanwhile, Jefferson is in the state tournament for the first time since 2017. Haver knocked off Central in Thursday's quarterfinal, so the Rams were looking for revenge in the game that mattered most, and they came out on a mission. Here at Zion Alika Morton coming in for the spike. That put momentum on the side of the Rams. Then moments later, it's Maddie Yakum following it up with a spike of her own. Point Central moving to match point now. Rams looking to finish it off, and they do. Thanks to Maya Hansen, Central sweeps Haver and wins back-to-back state championships.
I really feel like it was a mental game in the beginning, and now we knew that we could do it, and we wanted to make history by doing it. We knew that we could win these 2 games and get it done.
Moving to Class B, where the Jefferson Panthers were taking on the Huntley Project Red Devils. The seniors were the story of the match for Huntley. Macy Murphy led the team in assists with 34. Retta Peterson tallied 12 kills, and Josie Hasler led the team with 15. Hasler began to assert herself early in the match. Here's a spike, and her teammates continued to feed the hot hand as Huntley sweeps Jefferson to win their 13th state title.
It feels amazing. Like, we all worked so hard for this, and it's a surreal experience. I love it.
We really wanted to win. I mean, as seniors, it was our last time on the court, so we wanted to come out at the best we could and finish together.
Nate Dick is in his 4th year at Rocky Mountain College, yet he had only played in 7 games in the previous 3 years due to 3 non-contact, season-ending injuries. Now fully healthy, the redshirt sophomore has led the Battling Bears to a 6-1 record and atop the Frontier Conference standings after the team was picked to finish second to last in the preseason poll.
We're only halfway through the year, and they don't hand out conference championships or rings halfway through the year, and we were picked second last in the conference, so we're not supposed to be here right now. But we just got to do everything we can to play our best football the second half of the season.
This Saturday, Nate will prepare to start his 7th game of the season after only starting 7 in the previous 3 years combined, and he'll do so without the thought of another setback on his mind.
Once I get out on the field, you kind of just flip a switch and it's just time to go, and I think that's one of the hardest things for athletes coming back from injury is trusting yourself and believing that you can do the things that you were able to do before you got hurt.
Injuries are a part of the game. Every athlete knows that, but it can definitely take a toll on you mentally. Were there any role models that you were looking up to during those moments?
So I read a lot of stuff about Kobe Bryant, because he kind of had the similar injury as I did, and just his mentality towards the grind, and that it's not always fair, if that makes sense. You can do all these right things, and try really hard and stuff like that, and then sometimes it just doesn't work out, and that's just something that, if you just keep going, weather the storm, and there's a light at the end of the tunnel, whether you see it or not.
That light has led Nate to throw for over 1,500 yards and 13 touchdowns on the season, and he gets to do it in front of some of his biggest supporters.
My mom and my dad, they're my 2 rocks. I said it before, but it means the most to me to be able to play this year and have them watch me play. It's something that, I don't think they've ever missed a sporting event for me, traveling all across the state of Montana, into Wyoming and South Dakota and stuff. But, they've just done so much for me and sacrificed so much for me. So being able to play for them here in Billings is something that's just really important to me and for my brothers and sisters as well.
Rocky will host Carroll College this Saturday at 1 o'clock. Reporting in Billings, Dominic Delfidio, SWX.
With a winless record, Absaroka football sits at the bottom of the 8-man South standings. Before the season started, the school actually contemplated not playing a varsity schedule at all. SWX's Dom Delfidio shares the Huskies' experience this fall and their plan moving forward.
Absaroka, Montana, a small town with an even smaller football team. The Huskies are competing in 8-man football with only 12 players on their roster, and that's if every player is available for the games.
It makes it tough when you're playing 8-man football and you got 10 kids. You turn to that sidelines and you look and you've only got 2 standing behind you. You look across the field at that other bench that maybe have another 15, 16 kids standing there. It's a little intimidating.
It's different because most of our players have to play both sides of the ball.
The Huskies will finish the 2021 season in 8-man until they're able to apply to play 6-man next season or remain in 8-man football if they have enough players. Absaroka's roster is made up of 6 freshmen, 3 sophomores, 1 junior, and 2 seniors. As for the seniors, they're buying into what Coach Young is selling and trying to pave the way for the next group of Huskies.
I'm just going to tell them just to work harder and harder and harder, fulfill their duties, and just keep trying it every day like it's their last.
But for the time being, they'll just enjoy their final few games in front of the town that supports them every Friday night.
Our community is very, very supportive, and our crowds, they're really loud. We love having all of our streets painted for homecoming and having all these people come out to support us.
Reporting in Absaroka, Dominic Delfidio, SWX.
Let's dive right into all the exciting action we have across the state, starting with the girls' Class A state championship game between Billings Central and Laurel. It's the 5th time in the last 6 seasons that the Central Rams and Locos met, with a state title up for grabs. Scoreless in the first half until Madison Peaton is able to break through the Rams' back line, gets a generous bounce to where she's one-on-one with the keeper, and she knocks it in with her left to give Laurel a 1-0 lead. Then just moments later, it's the top goal scorer in the state, Maya Mack, making things happen once again, puts on a couple of moves, lets the shot go, and off the deflection, it finds the back of the net, 2-0 Laurel. Moving to the second half, Central trying to get back into it. Lily Bland taking on the shot, but a diving save by Anna Cole keeps it 2-0, and that's as close as Central would get as the Locos win their 3rd straight state title. We'll head to Bozeman now, where it's homecoming for the Cats. They welcome in Cal Poly this afternoon. And though it started out as a rainy afternoon for the homecoming festivities, the Bobcats offense delivered plenty of sunshine. We'll start in the first quarter. Matthew McKay firing one to Trayton Pickering for the first score of the game. That puts Montana State up 7-0. And then a little later, the Mustangs have the ball. But Jeffrey Manning is going to force a fumble, and it's recovered by one of his best friends since middle school. Yup, Tyrell Thomas. He gets on the ball, and the Cats have it right back. And then Isaiah Fonze doing what he does best, running into the end zone. That makes it 14-0 Cats. And the defense just continues to make plays. Start of the second quarter, Cal Poly has it, but Manning says, I don't think so. He gets the ball back for the Cats offense. And then Matt McKay here on the play action. He'll find Lance McCutcheon, the hometown hero. He's brought down in the red zone. That sets up the Cats in prime scoring position. And then once again, it's Isaiah Fonze by the goal line, powering his way in for his 2nd touchdown of the day. The Cats roll over Cal Poly 45-7 and win their 5th in a row. Moving to the Frontier Conference now, where the MSU Northern Lights picked up their first win of the season while also snapping a Frontier Conference losing streak of 47 games. The Lights snapped their losing streak in dramatic fashion on Saturday with a 22-20 win over Eastern Oregon in 5 overtimes. Yes, 5 overtimes, folks. Congrats to the Lights and a huge victory for them, snapping that long losing streak.